Okay, hi girls. This is my first talky video, so be nice. Okay, so we're going to be inking Galaxies today in our Bibles, and this video is made especially for the girls from my Facebook group, God's Refrigerator. We're on our little monthly art retreat for April 2020, and we're doing this online because you guys are so far away and because we're all in lockdown. We've been naughty and sent to our rooms. So while we're in timeout, let's use the time well. Now, you all know the book, and I have been asked by many people, why don't I start a new one? And I am not ready to let go of this one yet. So I have come to a compromise. The Teaching Bible. I'm going to be using this one just for workshops and our retreats and teaching stuff, I guess. Now, because we're doing Galaxies, I kind of thought it would be a great way to start this new book. First page, it's so clean, with a galaxy for Genesis. So I'm going to be using Tim Holtz Distress inks because they're my favourites and because I have lots. A couple of light colours. I'm using seedless preserves and fossilized amber. Yes, I'm mixing the oxides and the regular, but I don't care. I'm also going to be putting in some darker colours. Wilted violet, blueprint sketch, and finally, to give it the dark galaxy space sky thing, some black soot. Now, that will come later. So here we go. Little blending tools. I have 4 just to make my life easier, but you can get away with 1 or 2. I usually gesso my pages, doesn't matter what I'm doing. I know a lot of stuff does not go through, but I gesso everything with clear gesso. My favourite, just to be safe. But this time, because there's nothing really on the back side other than the title page, which I'll probably end up painting anyway, I'm just going to go straight onto the thin Bible paper. Be your guinea pig, that way you girls can see what actually happens when you ink onto your page without any gessoing or protection. And as I will predict now, everything will be fine until I take out the water spray. So here we go. I'm going to put my little page sideways. Now what you want to do, I'm going to take this off because it's making a lot of noise hitting against the Tim Holtz glass media mat that is anti-scratch and will never scratch, he says. He's a liar. There are scratches all over this. Oh my goodness. And I think it's from my bracelets. Okay, so we start off with our lighter colours first. Or I may just, sorry girls, bear with me because I pretend to be organised, but I'm not. I'm just going to put this little mat underneath. This is a Ken Oliver, oh, and it's dirty. This is a Ken Oliver, I think he calls it the best ever craft mat. I haven't used it in ages because I always have this glass mat going on instead. But this is really great for inking. It's great for if you like to, you know, splodge your ink on, spray it, and then do your paper lifty thing. We'll do that one day. How about next time? Maybe next month. But it's really great as a ink blending surface. So if I just do that, it will kind of give some protection to the pages underneath, as well as give me a runway, an ink runway. We'll call it that. How's that? We make up words in our little Facebook group. So here's our word for the week, our ink runway. I'm listening to myself and I sound like a crazy person. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Light colours first. I'm going with the fossilized amber. And I hope that this is all on screen because I can't see the iPad because it's all the way up there. So I guess time will tell. So just run it from off the page if you can so you don't get those big circles, or come down sort of flying, if that makes any sense. Don't just pop it down because you'll get, you know, bullseyes is what I think Tim calls them, and you don't really want that. Just put some splotches of your lighter colour just here, there. There's no right or wrong, just wherever you like to see a little bit of, you know, galaxy, nebula. I used to be a physics girl, but that was a long, long time ago. I can't remember the words I want. And come in with your other colour. I have trouble with this one. It comes out really kind of weird, and I don't know. It's not an oxide thing because my other oxides come on just fine. It just seems to be this particular pad, and I've done all sorts of stuff to try and fix that, but it just still comes on kind of like this great big sort of dark splodgy whatever, but that's okay because once we're done here you will not tell. So blend it in with your other light color. I'm sort of going on the sides of my yellowy, giving it a bit of pinky purpley-ness, little bit in the middle here, and just blend it. It goes on really beautifully on this thin Bible paper. Really, really easy and smooth. When I'm nervous, I talk a lot. Oh dear. Okay. So that's my bits. Now, sneak peek over the page. See, so far so good. I don't know how much you can see of that, but I can sort of see the ink through, but it's not ruining the page yet. Now I'm going to come in with some bit of a darker purple. This is the, what was it, Wilted Violet, and I'm just going to come around and blend that into the Seedless Preserves. See, I did it. I did the thing I said not to do, and I've got this great big circle there. So here we go. Come fix that up a little bit. Bit tricky getting up when you're close to the spine like that, but it's all right. I'm just going to, just from the side there, just rub it along just to get some colour happening. Not helped by the fact that my mat is not all the way up, so I'm getting this beautiful line. Beautiful, she says sarcastically. So we're just going to fix that a little bit. Static is not my friend today. And I can all hear you laughing at my supposed accent or my American friends, but that's okay. It's all good. So there we go. So a little bit more blendy blendy. And again, there's no right or wrong. Just put it where you think it looks nice. Remember that this is going to get splodged, and we're going to spatter it with white paint to give it lots of stars. Some of us might even be stenciling over the top of it. So it's really just a background that you're creating here. Don't stress. Have fun with it. I'm going to bring in some dark blue now with Blueprint Sketch. And this is coming on kind of watery-ish, weird. I keep coughing and clearing my throat. I'm not sick, everybody. I am not sick. It's asthma. This is the time of the year when my asthma says, hey, remember me? And is there some reason we haven't been using our inhaler? Yeah. So I'll just keep coughing and sputtering in the background, but so I'm blending away with the Blueprint Sketch. Again, not stressing. It's very therapeutic doing this, actually. Very relaxing. And get it in between your light colours. Go over them a little bit, it's all good. and get that blending happening so they all smooth out together. Getting a little bit more up the spine there, so I don't quite know what I'm going to do there yet. A little bit here. Okay, now that's pretty, but we need a bit of darkness happening there. So I'm going to bring in the black soot. This is where I changed my foam because I don't have enough little blendy tools. I refuse to open another pack. And I'm going to go around the edge of the page. So the darkness is kind of creeping in from the outside, if that makes any sense. And blending inwards. So I don't want too much darkness on the page, but I do want that dark night sky look. And this is an idea for girls who are doing this over the actual words but don't want to cover the words up. If you just pull out the other book very quickly for you, because I did do something similar. This technique works quite well. If you can see, you can still see the words through that if you keep the dark black to a minimum on the outside. And here I was not so heavy-handed with the ink on this one. I think this is the first Galaxy I ever did, so it's a bit sad. But yeah, so if you are a do not cover my words girl, this will work really well for you. If you keep it light, you can still read through the ink. Back with the black. And I'm sure this is making a bit of a mess on the page behind it. But like I said, it was not a crucial page and it will get painted anyway, so I'm not stressing so much. And actually managing to not have this all over my hands today, which is a bonus, because my catchphrase is that one day I'm going to leave the house looking like a grown-up, but that day is not today. So I'm trying to get a bit of the black up along that spine crease there, so it's not like a weird sort of only three-sided night sky thing. I'm talking rubbish now, aren't I? Okay, is that one? Yay. So now we need to cut down a little bit on that starkness that I have created with the dark black. So I'm going to bring the blue back in and blend a bit more of that blue. Sort of blending around those light colours, not covering them too much, but covering them a little bit and blending into them just a little bit. Just give it a little smooth out there. And just a tiny bit more of that dark wilted violet, just because I like it. And now we're just going to brighten up our light colours because they've sort of been attacked a little bit by all the dark. So bring your light colours back in and just give them a little bit more of a, let's see how that brings them out a little bit more and brightens them up a bit. That's my only special Galaxy rule. Always come back with your light colours once you've darkened your sky, and that gives them that beautiful light. I'm keeping a little bit of white there because I want that to be kind of like that centre of, you know, the galaxy centre. Well, there's a word, isn't there? Please comment below. You know the word for that white, really, really light bit in the middle of the, what is it? Is it a nebula? Oh, she shows her scientific stupidity. Oh dear, well, if you know the words that I want, please comment below. Come join us on our Facebook group, God's Refrigerator. Well, we'll stick our artwork up on the fridge in his big kitchen. And once a month we have our online retreats where we can all join in, learn some new skills. I know I'm not going to give the big talk right now. I give the big talk in writing. If I go TMI when I'm filming, can you imagine where that will go? She stops now, stops herself. Oh, goodness me. I hope you're all having a really good laugh at this. So I've decided I really don't like that. A horrible seedless preserves oxide pad. It's not doing good things for me. I wonder what will happen if I bring in some pink. This is worn lipstick. This could be a really big mistake, but you know what? I am here just to be a guinea pig for you girls and see what happens. So I'm bringing in, no, you know what? Change my mind, because I actually have this in anti-spoilt. I have it in oxide and regular. So I'm going to use it in regular and just bring in a little bit of pink and see if I can fix that horrible wilted violet. I think I've kind of ruined it. Sorry about that big noise that you all just heard. That was my phone buzzing at me from over there somewhere. So this is kind of like cutting your fringe, or you girls say cutting your bangs. I've made a boo and I'm trying to fix it, and the more I try to fix it, the worse it's getting. So I think maybe I need to just walk away. Perhaps, because otherwise I'm just going to cause all sorts of disaster. I think I need just a tiny bit more black. Just around my edges where, you know, the black has kind of lost it. I think mainly from me touching it so much. All right, stop now. Stop. Sometimes you just have to go, okay, walk away. Put your lids back on. And now we're going to do the fun bit. My water spray. This video is not endorsed by Tim Holtz, just because I keep throwing his stuff around. But I like this little sprayer. It's pretty cool. You could use any water sprayer. You could just flick water with your fingers. You don't need anything special. Don't go out and spend money just to do this. Use what you have. So I'm just going to spray a little bit here and there. And not sure how well that is showing up, but I'm going to pull the mat off. Eek. And try and bring that a little bit closer for you. I know it's all wrinkled, but it will fix itself when it dries. You could use a heat gun at this point, but I like to let it dry naturally, because heat gun kind of pushes the water splodges around, and then you might get streaks rather than just the dots, which is what I'm after. So I am going to go and do some stuff now, and I'll come back when this is dry and we'll do some fun paints spattering. Mess to come. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about the really bad lighting, but a few hours have passed. I've been off doing secret things, and I'm back now, and it's night time, and this house does not have very good lighting. And I have my little desk lamp shining in. We have a new setup here. This is my spatter box, which is basically a plastic covered fold out box, which is a bit of a joke because when I spatter, paint goes all over the ceiling anyway, but at least it helps a little bit. Here's a page. It's all dried now, so you can see little bits of where the water splashy has dried. Now this is why I gesso everything over the page. Everywhere where the water has hit the ink has gone through. So even though if you're just using the inks on their own, absolutely fine, don't need to protect your page. But if you're going to be using any sort of wet stuff, spattering with water, adding watercolor paints, whatever, it will go through. You'll ruin the backside. Again, I'm not really bothered because it's just a title page and I very likely will end up painting this anyway. But just so you know, I've been your guinea pig. This is what happens. Da-da. Okay, so let's have some fun. I am taking out once again the great craft mat because I thought it would be a really great way of kind of gift wrapping, so to speak, this side of my book so I don't get white paint spatter on the opposite page. And I am going to use just a piece of paper underneath here. I might flop that over a bit as well. There we go. Just to protect the edges. Not that it really matters so much, but these pages are a lot thinner than my other journaling Bible, but then the other one is a journaling Bible. This is just an ordinary. It's not ordinary, but it's not a journaling Bible. It is a regular Bible, but I figured since I kind of paint all over the page anyway, why not just use a regular Bible? I don't need to go out hunting for a specific journaling one, especially since being down here in Australia, very hard to source. Plastic takeaway lid. Yay, great palette. I'm using Kaisercraft white paint because it's quite thin. If you're using a heavy body paint like the Dina Wakley for instance, you might want to water it down. If you're using something really liquidy, yay, hooray, great. Now I usually do the paintbrush spattery thing, but today I think I'm going to start off with a toothbrush. This is my spattering toothbrush. Girls will appreciate this. It's Cookie Monster. Okay, it's not my teeth toothbrush. Okay, just had to, you know, had to put that out there. So pick up a whole lot of paint on your toothbrush, spread it out a bit. Make sure you don't have any big horrible splodges in there that will go onto your paper. And then slowly, gently, just flick those bristles. And that's giving me those tiny, I'm not sure if you can see it so well in this light. I'm really sorry if you can't. It's giving me sort of really tiny little spatters of far, far away stars. Kind of, sort of. Here we go. That's a bit better. It's kind of a try it and see how it goes process. Well, with me it is anyway. Still something that I need to learn how to do proper because I'm not real good at it. But one day I will find the perfect way that works for me. Until then, I will continue to clean paint off my walls, ceiling, clothes, other craft stuff that I forgot to move off the table, lamp, yeah, everything. Okay, so that's really, really teeny, small, far away stars. Let me get some more paint. Now I'm going to go in with the fun, messy stuff. A couple of paint brushes. I'm using this little roundy one. Load it up with some paint. Okay, look out girls, step back from the screen because you might get some on you. And see, she's not real great at it. I'm getting a couple of streaks, but you know, we just call those shooting stars, right? Would love to see your hints and tips and experiences in the comments. Anybody come up with a better way of me doing this? so that I get more on the page and less on my face, on my notice board, on my calendar. I have a lovely calendar. It's got paint spots all over it. Really great the day that I was splattering with red paint. The place looked like a crime scene when I was finished. I usually do this outside now. I've learnt my lesson. I usually take it out the front. So my front porch actually looks a little bit scary sometimes when you see the red splotches. You go, oh my goodness, what's happened in this house? But it's a whole lot easier to clean up than the walls of this house. But here we go, we're getting somewhere. So I tend to do more than I want to see, because I know that when this dries, it will actually dry a little bit lighter than what I see now. So rather than having to come back and give it a second splotch of stars and a second mess to clean up, I just kind of go over the top right now. A little thing I like to do at the moment is, just got to run across the room. Here she is, she's back. Just for fun. Kaisercraft again. Gold paint. It's not a very, very dark gold. So I have found that, get rid of some of that white. It looks really pretty when you do Galaxy spatters with it. Just gives it a little bit of a pretty shine. Kind of defeats the purpose if I'm going to stencil stars over it, but there you go. Okay, so the walls, you can't see it from up there, but the walls of the spatter guard look really great. There's a lovely spatter everywhere. The craft mat is spattered. Oh, there's a little bit on me. Oh, there might be some on the walls. I hope there isn't too much on the iPad. She goes up to check the camera. Yes, don't know how many of those spats are actually down here and how many of them are on the camera lens. But there we go. So I'm leaving it like this because I think I'm actually going to end up stenciling over this, in which case a lot of stars will be lost anyway. So I'm happy for now. Leaving it to dry. I'm not going to heat gun it because I don't want that paint flying around and causing more shooting stars. So I'll leave it like this to dry, possibly overnight, and I will come back later on and maybe we'll have a separate video for the stenciling. So that's the end of this. Creating galaxies in your Bible or anywhere else with inks and paint spatter. Hope you had fun. Comment below, tell me how you go. Join our Facebook group, God's Refrigerator. We have a retreat every month. Love to see you there. Bye.